Everybody, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Truth Podcast. My guest this week is Monette Woods. She helps other entrepreneurs erase limiting beliefs from their mind and body. She has a master's degree in clinical mental health. She specializes in eliminating limiting beliefs, which usually forms out of trauma. She has decided to take her expertise to the coaching realm. Welcome to the show, Monette.
Hi, thanks for having me, Jim.
It's a pleasure, and this is like the third time.
Yeah.
We've had internet
Hopefully,
issues, and we're hoping this comes out okay. But we've been having some internet issues today.
we'll roll with it.
We will be okay. First question I usually ask everybody on the show is, what made you want to become an entrepreneur? And I'm going to take these glasses off because they drive me crazy.
Well, honestly, I have been an entrepreneur since I was probably 9 or 10 years old, babysitting. I learned at a very young age that if I wanted extra things, that I needed to make money and go get them. So I did. It started off with babysitting and then kind of morphed into lemonade stands and mowing lawns, and even one summer went door to door selling Amway products. I think I was 12 at that time, trying to earn money for a trip I wanted to go on. And then, the babysitting continued. And when I got into my early 20s, I opened up a janitorial business that my partner at the time and I ran for several years. And that was really my first taste of real entrepreneur. Like, we had employees, and like it was stressful, but it was a very good learning experience. And then, along the way, different affiliate marketing, network marketing, until I found the career that I love. And I will be continuing this forever because this is my passion.
It is awesome when you find something you love to do, because then it's not work anymore.
Exactly. It's not, and it just comes so easy. And I'm not going to say it's not stressful. It can be stressful, but at the end of the day, I know that I'm helping people, and that makes me feel good.
You have a good heart for people. I can see that. I also see that you love to help people and want to get them overcoming what their internal struggle is. And so that'll set up this question is, what internal or external struggles have you went through on your journey as an entrepreneur?
Oh, gosh. Well, limiting beliefs, everybody has them. Of course, fear of failure is a big one. Not feeling like I'm good enough. Failing for sure. Failing and then not wanting to do it again. Let's see, other internal struggles. Those are probably the two biggest. Fear of failing and not being able to feel like I'm as good as other people. Imposter syndrome.
Yep. That's what I was going to say, the imposter syndrome. And there's a lot of people that go through that. I think it's just that we feel that we're just another person, and I'm saying that other people have done so much more than me, and so much,
Right.
have this and that. But when we send out our own vibe to our own people, our own vibe to our own tribe is kind of what I think about.
I like that. Yeah.
And then, so the people that resonate with us may not resonate with the person that's doing better over here or something over there. Yeah, they just resonate with us and our heart and the way we feel about things, and feel more comfortable with us. And without us, they don't have that, if you understand what I mean. So if you ever feel that way, if you ever feel like you're not good enough, you're good enough for the people that are sent your way.
Right. Absolutely. I think that's probably the biggest, the best feedback that I get from the people that I work with is that they just feel that instant connection with me. And, those are the people that I work long-term with, in the counseling avenue anyways. But yeah, it is a very special connection because people feel heard and understood, and you do, because you have those same thoughts and feelings.
Now, we talked about limiting beliefs and the internal struggle, any external struggles, like just, you know, how to set things up, or things that you ran into, maybe even in the janitorial business well, maybe it was an educational tool for later, but just something that was a stumbling block at the time.
Definitely taxes. I thought I could do my own taxes. And we were incorporated.
Wow.
So yeah, so I my first year I was like, I got this, I did it. And then it just so happens the year after that, one of our big contracts that we cleaned for was a tax attorney. And so we traded services. And yeah, no, I didn't didn't do a good job on those taxes.
That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I
That's
definitely learned
challenging.
that.
That's
It
really
was
challenging,
it was
because
challenging.
that's one of the things us as entrepreneurs, we just don't see sometimes we look at the numbers of other things, but we don't see the real nuts and bolts, the insurance, the taxes, the things that we have to do. It's just not our passion. It's not what we want to do. So we try to farm those things out, I think.
Right, right. Well, in tying back to limiting beliefs, it was one of those things that I was like, okay, I can do this. And if I can't, I'm not smart enough. So I have to do it.
Mm.
So that
Hmm.
limiting belief was keeping me from asking for help.
That's a good one. And I think that a lot of people out there listening will resonate with you about the taxes. I totally believe
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. So no, I definitely, that is something that is outsourced now.
So you said you have a master's degree in clinical mental health. Is that correct?
Yeah, clinical mental health counseling.
Counseling. Okay. And so you were doing that to get into like an office counseling, or what was the goal there?
Yes, private practice. I started off working in a community center, doing mobile outreach,
Mm.
working with people who were really sick,
Hmm.
suicidal, homicidal, psychotic,
Mm.
and it takes its toll. It's definitely very emotionally taxing.
Yes.
So then I branched into private practice, one-on-one therapy, and I still do that a little bit on the side. I have people now that I'm still working with, helping them through things. But that was the goal, was one-on-one counseling. However, I want to be online. I want to be digital. I want to
Hmm.
travel,
Hmm.
and with counseling, you can't counsel somebody across state lines. They have to be in the state that you reside in, so that really limits me.
Yeah, it does.
And so a lot of what I do too is coaching. It is giving people the tools to acknowledge and move through whatever it is, whether it's limiting beliefs or trauma or whatnot. So it is different than counseling, um, but it's a lot of the same nuts and bolts. So going into the coaching realm is going to like open me up a lot more to be able to help more people.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've said this on this show like many times, that we're a reflection of our business. Our insides are a reflection of our business, and we won't grow until we do. The
Sure.
business won't grow until we grow on the inside and overcome some of these things. And that's why what you do is so needed and necessary, because we need to overcome to get to another level, to discover more things that are wrong with us so that we can do that again.
It's so true. Well,
It
and that
is.
was one of the main reasons why I said yes to this, is because it's not in my wheelhouse. It's not something that I typically do. And so that knee jerk reaction was, no, don't want to do that. And so I made myself. I was like, no, this is something you don't want to do. So there's something there. So let's work through it.
That's good. That's good. And I think people will understand that. It's the fear of the unknown a little bit.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
also okay, I'm comfortable with doing this, but I don't know about this, because I don't know how people are going to respond to me.
Right. Am I going to be good enough?
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
That is the number one limiting belief I think you have, is just believing in yourself, you
Right.
know. Yeah. I see that. Okay, so if there was somebody out there that was just beginning to be an entrepreneur, or someone who's stuck, kind of just trying to figure out what they're trying to do, what would be your advice to someone just starting out or someone that's stuck, those type of things? Yeah,
My biggest advice would probably be surround yourself with like-minded people.
that
You're
is
the
really good.
average, yeah, average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So either they're going to bring you up or bring you down.
This
Learn
is
from them.
this has been the blessing of this show because I've got to meet so many good people, and I mean that 100%.
I bet.
I got so many good people in this group that I'll reach out and help whenever you need, or, I'll help them when I can, that type of thing. It is a really different community because I think a lot of these people are really heart based entrepreneurs, not money based entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
I think there is a difference. I think that people sometimes are out just to make the money and they're not out to help the people. And I've been fortunate. I really have. I've been fortunate to get to know people that actually have a heart for other people rather than um, people that are kind of all wrapped up in themselves and only want, they're only looking for just the money. I don't know if you know what I
Right.
mean, but
I
yeah.
do. I do. And, I don't want to say I have fallen prey to that, but I really believe that one of the reasons that all these other things weren't long term for me was because it wasn't really a passion of mine. It
Hmm.
wasn't, at the end of the day, I didn't really feel like I was helping somebody. Yes, I was helping them get this product or that product, or you know increase their bank account or whatnot, but my passion is to help people feel better about themselves. And
Right.
so that's, I really believe that's why, and where this is where I'm sticking.
I find that I like to help people and give them advice and do all that stuff, and I'm not trained or anything like that. But I find that it's hard for me to take my own advice. Do you find that for yourself or no?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Yes, it can be. But that's when really do that self reflection going, okay, what am I telling people to do? And why am I not doing it? What's keeping me from doing it?
And another thing that we have that's big on this show is called the whole thing. The tagline is "What's your story?" And it's very deep because it's the story that you tell yourself. It's a story that's coming out of your mouth that you're telling everybody else. Like I'm this or I'm not good enough or I believe this, I believe that. That's your story. And we try to help people change that narrative or that story and look to the characters in the story, like your mom and dad or your environment growing up or the different situations that formed your story that was on the inside. And
Hmm.
so we really try on this show to get to the real root of some things because that'll help other people to change the narrative of their story.
Right. And that's exactly what I do as well. From a kind of a therapy approach. What I offer isn't therapy in the coaching realm. It's very distinct, but I do use techniques that I learned in therapy that do help people actually move through those limiting beliefs where you reprocess it. I use a memory reprocessing method that you go back and you look at the memory and we incorporate the mind and the body so that it actually moves out of your nervous system. Because when trauma is formed, it's not only stored in your mind, it's stored in your nervous system. And that's where anxiety comes. That's where those butterflies come from when you're in fear or nervous. It's your mind reminding you that this is the way that it felt before. And so the coaching that I do, we go back and we look at those memories and reprocess them so it actually moves it out of your mind
Mm,
and your body and your nervous system.
that's interesting. I
Hmm.
have a guy that's coming on, Jeff Kamke, coming on, I think, Saturday with me. Yeah, it's into something called thought field therapy. Have you ever heard of that?
Thought field
Yeah,
therapy.
it's almost what you're talking about. It's like, but they call it a thought field where this negative trauma, energy, whatever you want to call it, resides in your nervous system and in your body, and they
Hmm.
try to get rid of that. So I didn't know I don't know. It sounds like almost the same thing.
Yeah, it does. What I do is incorporate what's called bilateral stimulation, which is just activating the left side of the brain versus the right side of the brain. Um, and it helps move that memory that's stuck and process it to the other side, to where you're not sitting and you're not ruminating on it, or it's not, anytime you feel like you're not good enough, it doesn't trigger that initial memory when you were 5 years
Mm.
old and you couldn't tie your shoe, because it's been processed.
Or like rumination, or you think of a thought about being negative, and then it just keeps spiraling worse and worse
Yes.
and worse and worse. And is that what you mean too?
Yes. So by looking at the very first memory that installed that negative belief, it kind of knocks out that foundation of that
Mm.
belief. And then you can really start looking at all these other moments where that belief may have been further ingrained.
Wow, that's
Hmm.
powerful. I mean, I think a lot of people could benefit from what you're offering and what you teach. A lot of people that are probably in the group might be on. I think
It's
we all go through that a little bit. I try to be as real as possible. That really helps me a lot, to be able to just be myself, and make the mistakes and do the things wrong and all this other, because it's just me. That's who I am, and I'm not trying to be anybody else. So I think I don't really have fear of doing this, because I have fun with it. It's no big deal.
Mhm.
But it's like moving forward into like selling stuff. I'm I have said this before, and I don't know if I want to say it, because I've tried to tell people I won't say it anymore. But I said I couldn't. I don't think I could sell ice cubes to people in hell. You know, I mean,
Well,
it's just
that's that there's a belief there and it formed out. I mean, it can be something as simple as you couldn't tie your shoes when you were in kindergarten. That's where
right.
that belief
Okay.
started.
Yeah. Wow. Really? That could
Yes.
be where that started. Holy cow! I
Yes.
didn't even think about that.
Yep.
I still can't tie my shoe. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's a joke. No, but okay, so in that belief, do you see in your clientele, people that you've worked with before, that they have strong evidence to believe that this is true about them? Because there's things in my life that has shown me, okay, I keep trying and trying and trying, but the results still keep being the same.
Hmm.
And so, are we sabotaging ourselves, or what's going on there when we actually have evidence to say this is true?
Well, you have evidence that it didn't work that time. There is no
Hmm.
evidence that it's not going to work in the future.
Mm.
But the fear of not, or the feeling of it not working out is what's holding you, what's keeping you stuck, because it's reminding you, oh, that didn't work out. I didn't succeed at that. I did fail at that. So those feelings are what is keeping you stuck in
And I
that.
think that I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I just think that the people that go through this, and they have, okay, so let's say, because we know that entrepreneurs pivot, they it's just, I don't know about that word, but they fail and fail and fail and fail and fail, and then finally crack through and succeed. Some people, though, they they ruminate on the failures, and so it's okay. This is more evidence that I can't do this. This is more evidence that it's not me. How do you get someone out of that belief if the evidence behind that is so strong?
Well, so you have to start with what's the evidence that this is going to happen in the future?
Okay.
There is none. And then what are other moments where you did succeed? And then start retraining your thought process to stop ruminating on the negative and look at the possibilities, look at the positive, challenge the negative thought. Okay, true. I may not have succeeded in the past, but that does not mean that I'm going to be a failure in the future.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And I think somebody out there, or someone that's watching this, can relate, and maybe this is helping them. I don't know why I went down this path, but for some reason I did. And I think maybe somebody that's watching, somebody right now that's watching this video, I hope that you get something out of that, and some of what Monette is teaching us as to how to deal with some of these beliefs that we've having kind of ingrained in us, that we just feel like
Mhm.
we just can't get out of.
Yeah. And you can, there are lots of tips and tricks to do, but I'm a big believer in the like memory reprocessing where that initial memory formed, that initial belief formed, like reprocessing it to where your adult brain now understands it, because you're reacting from like really that child part of you,
Hmm.
is like, oh, I don't want to experience this pain again, so I'm not going to do this thing.
How do you know that the memory is the right one?
Well, so oftentimes when we start the processing, it may trigger another memory where you go, oh, this is where it really started,
Okay.
and then we process that one.
Okay. So
And
one leads to another then? Is that how it kind of works?
generally it does, because it lights up that memory network. It's kind of like a free association when you
Hmm.
think of this thing and then your mind just goes, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, okay, I get that. Okay, cool. And I think that that's needed. I think everybody needed to hear that, and how we get to that point and how we get to the success, and
Hmm.
that you can help them to get that success and achieve what they want to achieve. I think that's really good.
Yeah, it's a very effective technique.
Yeah. Um, okay, so I wanted to ask you also, what are you planning to do? I say you said you're going to pivot in, or I hate the word pivot. Why do I keep using that? You're going to transition into being a coach. Are you
Mhm.
offering coaching online now?
Yes, I am offering a 8-week program, that incorporates the memory reprocessing that I do, and also some homework to really help unstick those negative beliefs.
Unstick this stuck. That's pretty
Yep.
good. I like that. We have so many people that get to a certain level and then they just flatline because of the fact that they can't overcome a certain thing.
Right.
And so if you guys are there and you've hit a peak, you haven't hit success yet, but you've kind of maxed out, you're kind of leveled off and you don't know why. Sometimes it's an internal thing, and Monette would be a good person to talk to and to try to find out what that belief is and try to get you going to the next level.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it could be even something as simple as like with money beliefs. There's a lot of limiting beliefs
Let's
about
yeah,
money.
let's
Like
go into that. What do
I.
you like I've heard that one, like money doesn't grow on trees and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Money's you got to work for hard for money and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
That people that have money are sometimes step on people to get there, and
Right.
they're bad people. So like inside, why would I ever want to be that horrible person? Maybe you can
Exactly.
expound on those and other ones that you have heard.
Yeah. So that money is the root of all evil. My parents had to work so hard for money, that, money doesn't come easy. Like you said, I'm a bad person if I have so much money. And that, translates to business. If you get your business to a certain, monthly revenue, whatever that may be, and you're plateaued, there may be that limiting belief that I can't make more than this, because if I do, then I'm a bad person,
Hmm.
or I'm not working hard enough to earn this. I don't deserve
Mm,
this.
I don't deserve it because I'm not working hard enough. Wow, that's something.
Hmm.
I did not know that one. The one you said was money is the root of all evil. And me and Andy Frizzackerly were talking about that. And he had that limiting belief for a while, but then he discovered it was the love of money, actually, is what it says, that is the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's not money itself.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
and
and it's not even, I don't even think the love of money is an evil. It's how you decide to use it and spend it.
I've said money's a tool. Again,
Yeah.
money's like a gun because guns kill people. It's not the people, the guns don't kill people. The people who use them do.
Yeah.
So the bad people that use money in an incorrect way to corrupt or to have power over other people, they're just using the tool in the wrong way. It's
Right.
almost the same thing.
Right. So it's not the money, it's the person.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Do you think money, having more money, just brings out more of yourself and maybe your flaws and stuff like that?
I don't necessarily think so. No,
Okay.
I don't. Mm-mm.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's a good belief.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that. I've heard that money brings out the best and the worst in you. And so I
Mm.
thought, I should ask and see what you think about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it can go to people's heads, but I think again, it's maybe a learning experience for that person on how to handle money. But I
Mhm.
don't think it inherently makes someone brings the worst out in somebody.
Good. That's totally good. What is the I'm going to ask this. I don't know if you'll have a good I don't know what you'll think about it. Um what do you think is the hardest limiting belief to overcome?
I'm not good enough.
Really? So like
Hmm.
the imposter syndrome is
Hmm.
the one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's the biggest one that I've encountered. And
And
it's
how
usually tied to childhood.
and how do you try to overcome that? Is it different for everybody, or is there like one thing that can help a lot of people?
I mean, it is different for everybody. It's formed, um, it is formed differently for everybody.
Okay.
But um, looking at the reality of it, what aren't you good enough for, and who determines that?
Mm, that's deep. That's deep. Because we're all just human. You know,
Right.
I really did a little bit of a study into the imposter syndrome, and I've said that on multiple shows and things. And there was a thing where Neil Armstrong was in a group of people, and he said, "I don't belong with all these other people because they've done all these great things, and I only went where they sent me." And I was like,
Wow.
"Wow, this is the first man on the moon."
Yeah.
You know, and Tom Hanks, and there was all kinds of them that I had looked up, and Tom Hanks has said that if they ever found him out, that he wouldn't be an actor anymore.
Wow. Yeah.
And
A lot of people have
yeah,
it.
they think they're faking it almost. Do you
Hmm.
notice that too?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a big in my counseling realm, that was one of the things that I really worked with was imposter syndrome. And
Yeah,
people just that fear of, oh my gosh, someone is gonna find me out and then they're gonna kick me out.
exactly. And that I've seen that over and over and over again. It's I'm not really competent enough to do this, but they told me to do it, so I'm going to do it anyway. They're paying me all this money, so why not? You
Right.
know, but it's just amazing to see some of the people that have went through that. David Bowie had something where he said he just kept working hard and working hard and working hard because he said if they ever caught up to me, you know, they'd
Hmm.
find me out, and it was exactly the same things
Right.
over and over. And if those people had those limiting beliefs, imagine how we are as just regular human beings.
Hmm.
The funny thing is, as I said that, I really got into my head, but they're just regular human beings too.
Exactly. Yep.
And
We all
sometimes
are.
we don't realize that we're just as much or just as good or equal to those other people. We just haven't got there yet.
Right. Well, and we haven't got there in what sense?
Whatever our success is,
Right.
whatever we term success. We don't have to be Tom Hanks, and we don't have to be Neil Armstrong. God knows I don't want to go to the moon. Anyway, I'm sorry, it's just not one of my things.
No desire.
Not really. There isn't much up there to do. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just, everybody's success is different for everybody,
Hmm.
you know. So
Absolutely.
I think that as many people as I can help, I think I'll be successful that way. I just want to be able to do as much as I can for everybody else and see, what happens. I'm not really a guy that's like, oh, I want to get this and I want to get that. Of course, I want to make money, but it's not like, it's not the main focus, I guess.
Right. It's not your driving force, which is
Right.
good. I mean, and
Right.
even if it was, I think that can be a limiting belief too, that I can't, I can't want this thing because it's going to give me so much money. Or I think it's, how you approach it. wanting the money part, it isn't a bad thing because money opens things up for you.
I
It
agree
can.
with that. I agree with that to a point, but I just, okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, I'd love to have the lifestyle and the things that come with it, but I guess I don't want to be all about that. Because that's just too much for me. It's not like I don't want it, but it's like I don't want to bury everything else for it. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Well, so that's the limiting belief for you, is that you feel like you can only have one or the other.
Yeah, you got it right. Okay, now we've turned it into a counseling session. And I might need that. I'm not kidding. Oh, no, you're really good at this stuff. No, you're right, though. I totally believe that I have that. I totally believe that. But,
Yeah.
that's just what I'm working through and what I'm going through at this point.
Hmm.
Um, and I really I want to help the next guy, succeed and whatever. And I feel like if I help enough of those people, then it'll come for me too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
And it
guess it's
will.
just not that focus or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm saying it right or
Yeah. So
not.
you're focusing on helping people and not the what it's going to pay you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Right now I am. But anyway, let me see. I can go into a little more of where your stuff is, how people can get a hold of you, and we're going to put the links down below in this video so that
Hmm.
you can go to wherever Monette tells you to go. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, honestly, the easiest place to get a hold of me is Facebook, um, and through Gmail, monette.woods@gmail.com. I
Okay.
don't have a coaching website as of yet. I
Okay.
am transitioning it from therapy to coaching. So I don't want to confuse the two because it's very distinct difference,
Sure.
and I have to keep them separate. So as of right now, it's just through Facebook or email.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay. So we'll put your Facebook link down there, maybe your email, so that people can get a hold of you.
awesome.
I think that this is something that's necessary. And I believe that, yeah, me too. I probably need it as well.
Yeah. I think we all do. I mean,
I
there's,
think we do.
I have things that come up daily for me that I have to put in check. I'm like, if a feeling comes up, I have to evaluate it and think, okay, where is this coming from? Oh, okay. Well, that's not true. So then I move on.
That's true. That's one thing I do well, though. I know who I am.
Hmm.
You know, I've had this for a long time where people can say whatever they want to, and it doesn't bother me because I know who I am. So part of it, like you said, oh, that's a lie. I can get rid of that. That's not the truth. I
Hmm.
do that very well,
Hmm.
but it's like some people don't. Some people they'll say something about them, and it ruins their whole thing.
Hmm. Well, because it triggers the belief that's already there.
Mm. So the underlying belief's already there. It's just the thought or the confirmation maybe of that
Hmm.
belief that sparks all that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
This has been a very deep, good conversation. I like this. It's bad because when I'm blind, I can't see how much time we've spent. So
Oh.
I just keep going until I feel like I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, but I like to talk about limiting beliefs because I see so many people think they can't or think they're not good enough.
Hmm.
And I say we look in the mirror and we see all of our flaws. And others see us and they're like, wow, I think you're amazing.
Yeah.
And we don't think we're amazing. We think we're just Joe Blow from some small hick town or some town
Hmm.
somewhere and everybody knows you and that type of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, because all of those memories of past failures are sitting in your mind and your nervous system that need to be worked through.
I like that you say it's in the nervous system.
Hmm.
So can that cause other stuff like diseases and things like
Yes,
that or no?
Absolutely. It can. There's a huge correlation between people who have trauma and people who have autoimmune disorders, like 80%.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
a good book out there called The Body Keeps the Score. I don't recall off the top of my head who wrote it, but it really explains how trauma is stored in our mind and our bodies and our nervous
Wow.
system. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had kidney failure when I was 36.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I went through 3.5 years of dialysis and all that stuff. And so I wonder if it was part of that caused all that stuff. So that's why I'm asking, I
It's
guess.
very possible. Yeah. Yeah.
So to everyone out there because what I went through was not fun whatsoever. If you have it on your bucket list, please cross it off because it's no fun whatsoever. Not fun at all. But
Yeah.
on a serious note, if you're carrying around some trauma, or you're carrying around something that's some hurt from your past, I would get with somebody, Monette, somebody that can help you with that, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not only sitting there in affecting your life emotionally, but it might be affecting your life physically.
Yeah. It most definitely probably, well, yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, and the one thing entrepreneurs don't take care of themselves as well. At least I don't. I don't know. Maybe not everybody else is me, but we work long hours. We do a lot of things, and taking care of ourselves might come for some of us last. I mean, I know other people that are just in good shape and they work on it every single day and all this other stuff. I'm not there yet, but I'm just letting you guys know, I am not there yet.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So the program that I went through for my master's taught self-care. That was huge. And it is huge for therapists or people in the helping field in general. That you cannot pour from an empty cup, as cliche as it is. You have to take care of yourself. So developing a good self-care routine is really vital.
It is vital. And I need to do a better job with my own life. And
Mm-hmm.
so for people out there that are watching, you should do a lot better job getting more sleep, getting more water intake.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going through this course with Carrie, and I can't say her last name because it's like Italian or something. Versaccio, something like that. I can't. I'm really sorry, but I can't say it. Hopefully, I'll be able to pronounce it in a few weeks because she's going to be on the show.
I'll
and I
just
hope,
run through it a couple times.
and I hope she don't hate me right now. But yeah, I'm in one of her groups, and I'm in this empowerment group, and it really started thinking about some things and doing things a little differently. So yeah, I'm really appreciative to her for that stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even I'm going to tie it back to limiting beliefs. There may be a part of you that thinks it's not okay to take care of yourself, that you can't take a break, you can't rest, you can't do all these things because you haven't accomplished X, Y, or Z.
That's very true. That's very true. Anybody who knows me knows that, because
Mm-hmm.
I will keep going and going and going. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Yeah. And like I said, my day started at 4 a.m. and I
yeah.
don't know what time it is now, but it's later at 7-ish or so, somewhere in there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm still working. I'll be working after this and continuing
Yeah.
on until probably 9-10 o'clock or so.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I hope
No.
it's not that late tonight, but we'll see.
Yeah. 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 Definitely schedule in that self-care. It's okay to stop. It's okay to take a rest.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that a lot of people who have an inner drive to succeed and an inner drive to do something better than, I don't know, maybe our parents or maybe our, friends or something like that. We're driven because we feel like we have everything on our shoulders. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you know what that feels like. I
Yes.
feel like, it's something on my shoulders to change my family tree and to change my life and change my kids' life and all that other stuff. And so that's why I'm driven so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was the first one in my family to get a master's, a bachelor's really, but both
Wow.
of both of my sisters have completed their masters as well.
Nice. See, but you
Yeah.
were the trailblazer,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and I feel like that in my family. I feel like that in, and my friends and stuff like that, which I'm making a bunch of new friends now. It's amazing how many good people there are out there.
Yeah.
All you got to do is reach out and start talking to people,
Hmm.
and they're, I mean, a lot of the entrepreneurs I've talked to have a huge heart for each other. They really
Yeah.
do, and
Yeah. I've found that as well.
it's a very loving community. And I'm like, wow, didn't expect it. I honestly
Hmm.
thought that it might be a little more standoffish than what it has been. But
Hmm.
no, it's just incredible. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm just appreciative to everybody who's been on the show and is going to be, and is like I said, it's just amazing to have all these new friends and these new people in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a great show. I appreciate you having me on as well. It's been a
Oh, I
great
love having you
experience.
on. This has been really good because we've dug really deep into the limiting beliefs, but we've also dug really deep just to show other people, that may be dealing with the same things, that there is help and there is hope.
Hmm.
And I think that's the
Right.
message of the show, is that there's hope, and there's help out there, and there's people that care, and there's people that will help lift you up if you're stuck or feeling down or those type of things.
Yes, there are.
So,
They're everywhere.
but yeah, I really appreciate you being on the show this week. And do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yes, I really appreciate you having me on. It's been fun, and feel free to reach out to me, even if it's just to connect and have a new friend.
Yes, best. Please reach out to Monette. She's on Facebook, and it's Monette Woods, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Monette Woods. All right, everybody. It's been a great show. It's been enlightening for me this time, too. And I really appreciate my guest, Monette Woods. And I hope I keep saying that right, because, wow, I've been
You
butchering
got
it.
it. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Until next time, have a good day.